Hey, what's up? This is the man that you all know and love, E. Digger. That's right, and you're watching another edition of the Charm City Direct TV edition. What's so significant about this is I just came from the station, the radio station, doing my show, and jumped right back into the community to talk to a brother who I consider a pioneer in this whole photography thing, man. And just walking into this studio, one, it is huge. Never been inside of an actual photography studio. This is my first time. I am honored. I'm always honored. I'm always privileged. And I'm sitting in front of this gentleman here, Mr. Timothy White. And he is the owner and founder of TRW Photography.
That's correct.
It is a pleasure. It is my pleasure to be here with you right now. I have to say, man, this is awesome.
Thank you.
All of this is awesome. This is my very first time at an actual photography studio, man. And I need to say for the viewers out there, at what age did you decide to be a photographer?
Actually, I basically started out as a fine artist. And in my undergrad year, from the age of 5, I was actually drawing and painting in my high school year.
Okay.
I actually attended Maryland Institute College of Art and studied fine arts and went on into college from there. In my later on in my college years, I actually was a science major and walked over to the Fine Arts Museum and fell in love with it. It was like the art in me just came right back
Just kind
out.
of right out.
Yeah. And from that point on out, I was in the dark room any spare time I had, weekends.
So that was your second home, the
Yes.
dark room.
That's where I spent the majority of my time in the dark room.
And then for people out there who don't know what a dark room is, please elaborate on that.
That's the old-fashioned way of doing photography, where you use a developer and I don't know if you ever seen it on TV where they actually dip the paper in, and it changes, and you go from one wash to the next wash to the next wash, and then you kind of hang it up and you let it dry. And it's different now because now everything is pretty much digital.
Yeah, and that was my next question. I'm almost certain they don't use dark rooms no more.
No.
Because everything is pretty much digital.
Yes, and you can pretty much, professional photographers like to have it where once you shoot, you see exactly what you're shooting, and you can always compensate for it and fix it as you're going.
Technology, man. I'll tell you. How long have you been a photographer or doing photography?
Well, it's been at least 13 years that I've been doing it as a profession.
Okay.
Going in, and it took a while for me to actually come to the point where I could actually say, hey, look, you know what, I feel like a professional in what I'm doing.
Now, describe your photography. What do you look for when you shoot? What do you prefer?
Basically, I look for the uniqueness in person. There are a lot of people out here that, you know, model and they do print work or they may do runway. It has to be a model that has a unique quality to her to bring it out on the film itself or the digital film or digital camera itself.
So when people come in, and I know you get this a lot, people come in, do they sometimes know what they want or don't know what they want, but it's kind of like a toss-up? How do you deal with that?
It depends on the professionalism of the model, how long they've shot, and how many photographers they work with. there have been times where I actually have models come in and we start from scratch. You know, it's a pretty lengthy process, but once they get into the swing of it, they yield wonderful results, or the results from it.
Great. Now, I know photography is a tedious process. Mr. White, take us through that process from shooting to editing.
Okay. Once the model comes in, we look at the outfits that she brings. I look at them, look at the color. It's almost like painting.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
you look at your colors, look at the lighting,
Okay.
what type of lighting you want to use for each outfit.
Okay.
I prefer a nice soft lighting because soft lighting leads, it's less editing for me
Okay.
when it comes in, unless if I'm going for an image that I want a nice hard or strong lighting in.
Okay.
Then from there we shoot.
Okay.
Images are loaded over to the computer.
Okay.
And then from the computer, we sit down and we go into editing. I want to find the image that gives the model the strongest feature, or complements her the most, or him the most.
Okay.
And then we run from there.
What would you tell someone that wants to start in photography, from what camera to use, etc.?
I've always been, even in my undergrad year, I preferred Nikon. And Nikon lenses or Sigma lenses.
Sigma. Okay. Y'all hear that? Nikon and Sigma. What's your opinion on photoshopping photos?
Only when needed.
Only when needed.
Only when needed. Most of the work that I do, I rely heavily on my lighting.
Okay.
I like to use a nice soft lighting when I shoot.
So a little as possible.
Yes,
for
I want to
Photoshop.
keep it. Yeah, I want to keep. We
Natural.
want to keep the model natural.
Great. Where do you see TRW photography in 2014?
I see. I look at TRW as one of Baltimore's best kept secrets, and I think once the company name is out there and the work gets out there, then it's going to bring in a lot of people, and it's going to turn a lot of heads because the work is very unique.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then speaking of unique, I need you to look at this beautiful artwork right here. These photos right here. And this has a name, actually.
That's correct.
The Art of Noise.
That's correct.
Right? Talk about the Art of Noise.
The Art of Noise started out as a project. At one point, during my fine art years, photographers always got a rap that most folks didn't actually view photography as an art. And when I started doing my Art of Noise, what I wanted to do was I wanted to bridge that connection so that when folks actually look at the work, then you can actually see the true beauty in the art, in the photography, and it actually stands as a fine arts piece itself. I actually had a show at UB Blake where I put up like 75 pieces and got a really good review from it. It's very interesting feeling. It invokes feeling when you actually look at the work, because a lot of people would tell me, oh man, they look at one piece and it's like, oh, that reminds me of my uncle or my aunt, you know. And to me, Art of Noise is a form to invoke that feeling in you, because that's what art basically is to me. When you look at a piece, you want to be moved by it. And photography is the same way.
And coming in, I noticed this grabs you right when you come in. You come in the door, you turn the corner, this grabs you. So what I would like for you to do is, let's talk about two of these pieces right here at the bottom.
Okay. One of the key things I do is I actually start out with a model, and then from the model, I actually download the image into Photoshop.
Okay.
Okay, and then from Photoshop, I add noise to it. There's numerous filters that I use, and the stretching and elongating of the body
Yes.
is actually done with a filter, but it's done by looking at the model itself. Say if I want to accent the nose, then I will stretch the nose out more, or the chin, or blow the body out.
Wow.
You know, it's just picking a certain feature on the model, and then
Just
taking that
yes.
and expanding.
And that's exactly what you see here is you're expanding certain features right here. And also this really grabs you right here when you walk in. Explain this one as well.
This was actually one of my pieces I call hands-on.
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 And he is definitely
hands-on. With the model, it actually started out as a black background,
Okay.
and I kind of draped myself behind the model and covered her.
Okay.
And then from that, I put it in Photoshop, and then focused the attention on the hands and enlarged the breast
Yes.
and the small hands at the bottom.
As a part of your process to expand.
Right, so it's actually drawing the viewer eyes
Closer. Yes.
right into the hands, and then I add a filter to give it noise, to give it an artistic look to it.
Wow. That's incredible, man. Like I said, when I walked in, of course, this whole section right here, not only this section, but all around, just grabs you, man. What other photographers have you worked with, or what projects would you want to work with?
I'm finding out that there are not many photographers in Baltimore that I've worked with or collaborated with, but needless to say, that's not saying that I won't do it.
Okay.
I'm always open to work and collaborate with other photographers on different projects. I want to get back into doing more album covers. I work with quite a few artists in Baltimore doing album covers and designing. Not one of my strongest points, but I do have a pretty good extensive background in graphic design as well.
Wow, that's remarkable. And speaking of which, before we went on to record and talk to you, we had brought up an interesting topic of interns.
Right.
So, what is your take on interns?
I think interns are great, but I would want a person that's enthusiastic about what they're doing and have the same passion for their work or photography as I do. Because I don't really want to bring someone in and they're not serious about it.
They're just oblivious to what's going on.
That's
or
right.
have no clue of photography.
Right.
So you want to work with somebody who generally has an inkling of what it is that they want to do and what it is that you do.
Right. It would be more or less like a collaboration of ideas that they would bring to the table.
And that's what anything is, photography, work in general.
Right.
Just to have bringing something to the table, so to speak.
Right.
Wow.
Yes, I definitely agree on that. Any interns or anyone that's interested in it, they can definitely get in contact with the business page. We have a business page on Facebook. I have a website up, TRW photographymaryland.com. I'm on Model Mayhem. Definitely tune into the website, leave me a message.
Yes.
Facebook, call me.
But only leave a message if you're serious. If you need to bring something to the table, if you have something to bring to the table, if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, hit this brother up. Don't come dry or negative, because he's not going to talk to you. I just need to have that.
Okay.
And actually, that was my next question. How can people see your work? How can people contact you for appointments or business projects?
Like I said earlier, we have a Facebook page.
Yes.
The website, again, TRW Photography, Maryland.com. It's got a lot of interesting stuff on there, a nice bio,
Yes.
tells my background, the school I went to, my Art of Noise projects that I worked on, a lot of voluntary work that I do as well.
Yes.
Model Mayhem, you can find me on Model Mayhem, TRW Photography. I'm also on Instagram, TRW Photography.
That's great. That's great. I want to personally thank you. Thank you for just being a positive influence here in Baltimore, for being a master
Thank you.
of photography. This has been Photography 101 with the master Timothy White of TRW Photography and the official photography sponsor of the Charm City Direct Radio Show and Charm City Direct TV. You'll be hearing from this brother in the future. I wish you much success in the future, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Great.
All right, we're gonna set them up.
Great, great. Hey, don't go nowhere. We will be right back with more Charm City Direct TV with the man you all know and love, Geek Digger.